Hi everyone, Layla Shaver with My RA Lawyer here with Abby Vick. Congratulations for being voted a phenomenal woman of 2021. Welcome.
Thank you. So excited.
We're excited to have you here as well. So for the benefit of everyone watching, would you mind giving us a little bit more background about you, your firm, what you guys are doing?
Absolutely. So I'm just at my 2-year anniversary of opening my RIA, and we are Paradigm Money Management, and I'm here in Phoenix, Arizona. But we have IARs and agent relationships on the insurance side all over the country with clients all over the country. 2 years ago, I thought I was starting my firm for myself. I wanted to work with clients, and I was really excited about being in the independent space. And it very quickly turned into, adding IARs and having conversations with other, in particular, female advisors who were looking to stretch their arms a little bit and work with the clients they really felt passionate about. And I'm happy to provide that service for them and that support in growing their businesses.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear. So 2-year anniversary, huh? It sounds like you've been doing a lot in the last 2 years.
It's been a really busy 2 years of deciding where Paradigm was going to go, what my ideal client is, where I want to specialize, and then working through bringing on different advisors and agents. So it's definitely been a learning process, and I've been asking a lot of hard questions and hard decisions moving forward, but it's all been really fun, and I've had so much pleasures of talking to a lot of a lot of women financial advisors who I've been trying to get feedback from. What are you really looking for from a firm? Why would you make a decision to move? Why are you independent or not? And how are they supporting you? So that I could really focus in that area and help women in particular.
So why did you launch your own RIA? What pushed you to do that for yourself?
Yeah, having autonomy as a financial advisor was really important to me. Being able to make decisions on how I wanted to specialize, how much I wanted to work. I am a working mom with 2 young children. I have a 3 and a 5-year-old girl. And I wanted to be able to balance my time. I've been in other places before that said they prioritize work-life balance, but we're still demanding 40, 50, 60 hours a week of me. And I wanted to see what it would really be like, independent, prioritizing my family, prioritizing my firm. And I'm sitting here fully believing in, prioritizing your time the way that you want to and still being successful, right? Like, what does success really mean to you in your own business as you're growing? And being able to have the autonomy and the control to make some of those decisions and really provide high quality service for each client was just of utmost importance to me, and I couldn't find a place that was truly offering that. So I thought I would do it myself.
And you're doing it 2 years later, and then helping other women as well. So, what are kind of the stories you're hearing about the women who are coming to you and who are thinking about taking the same step and they're kind of exploring their options with you? What kinds of stories are you hearing from them?
Yeah, great question. Unfortunately, I've heard of a couple women who have completely left the industry because, they're very qualified CFPs, masters in finance, lots of letters behind their name, and they couldn't find a right fit at a company that was really supporting who they were and prioritized, client relationship above all else. And they were under the impression that maybe that didn't exist. And so they were looking for different options. um, Other women that I've talked to, really would like the opportunity to stretch their legs and see how can we change the service model and look at it in a different way, and what kind of relationships can we build, and can we actually build a community of people who are helping each other with money and who care about, money mindset as well as the tactical and the strategic parts of money. And those things are great. I love my industry. I love what I do. I love the strategy and the tactical behind money. But I mean, the most recent stat I saw was what 80% of financial plans don't actually get done. I mean, that's an alarming number when that's where we're hanging our hat in the industry. And we have to start asking ourselves, what else do our clients need that we are not currently providing? Because there's obviously this big gap between what we think needs to be done in client accounts and what would make sense for them numbers wise, charts wise, statistics wise, versus where they currently are in their life, in their mindset, and with their current money habits. And if we're not going to close that gap, I mean, I think we're going to keep losing clients to Robinhood and Betterment, all these robo platforms, right? Because what's the point of having a connection with a human if the human doesn't understand me, if the human doesn't reflect my values, if the human can't meet me where I'm at? It seems like a wasted kind of conversation and time. And so I think there are a lot of women that are looking for that connection. And so there's a couple, you know, CFPs I can think off the top of my head who were financial advisors by the books, by the numbers. They were successful, but they weren't making the connection with the clients they wanted to. So now they're financial coaches and they dropped their licenses. And I'm not sure I want to be in the financial service industry anymore. So I just fear that if we don't make some of these changes in maybe how we're producing revenue in these companies, how we're meeting our clients, how we're talking about money mindset and the tactical side of money, we're going to continue to lose talent and we're going to continue to lose clients.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, because a lot of the things you're saying is very different, I think, from the, how do I say this? The more mature population of the financial services industry. Do you find that, along with all the issues that women run into, do you find there are some differences as well based on generational or age differences in terms of how different advisors or firms are looking at these client relationships, and maybe that's driving some of this movement away from firms and wanting to go independent?
That's a great question. I'm not sure I've thought about that too much. The thing that I have made some more connection on, and it's a theme in my firm with everyone that works with me as well, is second career. Being a financial advisor is a career change, and having experience in a different start in your career and then deciding you wanted to be a financial advisor. Man, I can't say enough about that. I think it brings a lot of value. I'm obviously highly biased because I have a bachelor's in social work degree. I worked in the social work industry and in nonprofit work for years before I was an advisor. So I think there's a lot of value that can be brought in from having a different perspective, right? And so, there's some older financial advisors who I've talked to who are in that boat and some younger. So the age is kind of varied. But when we're willing to look outside the box a little bit and really meet our clients where they are and not where we think they should be, right? Like, you're coming to me because I'm all knowing and I can predict what your future should be and I know where exactly every dollar should be, but where's the client really starting off with? And I think, from my experience, there are, younger generations are interested more in those conversations and in looking at revenue models differently and looking at bringing in different types of clients instead of, a lot of advisors, maybe I say most advisors that I talk to don't want to talk to clients unless they have more than $500,000, $1 million in cash to move over, right? And that's the revenue model that we've decided works in the financial industry. I can't make my books work unless you have over $500,000. So you're just not worth my time. That's the language that is so common in the industry. And I'm sorry, but all those companies are missing out on so much opportunity to think outside the box, create different kinds of revenue streams, and really serve people where they are. Because, I mean, what's the range that I most recently saw? 60 to 90% of Americans do not have a financial advisor. I mean, are these shocking statistics? I mean, I'm constantly shocked when I think about it. 60 to 90% do not have a financial advisor. They don't have a human they can talk to about money that they trust. I mean, that's crazy. That has to show that a lot of these things that we're doing are not working. And when are we going to wake up to be able to think about that in a different way?
Are you finding that there's a more of a demand for female financial advisors through your firm?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, when I started in finance, I was under the impression that it would be the opposite, that it would be a detriment to making connections. I think, um, I started off as a stockbroker, so it's, who can I talk to about day trading, and who knows about options, and who knows about these, more sophisticated strategies. And I want to talk to a guy. Are you sure you have the right knowledge? I mean, clients would literally say that to me over the phone. And now I think I came with the assumption that that would carry over into being a financial advisor. And it just hasn't. It's really not a barrier of entry, right? And I have quite a few, probably split 50-50 male and female clients. And I think the connection is very similar to male and female clients, right? They still want to talk about the mindset. They want to talk about how they can think about money differently, as well as taking the tactical steps. It's just, I'm willing to go there. And even if they worked with other financial advisors before, they're like, yeah, no one's ever been willing to talk to me about these things before. And that's why I'd prefer to work with you. So,
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I'm glad that you saw that what you experienced on the brokerage side didn't transfer into the independent advisory side.
yes.
So are these kind of similar conversations you are having with the women you are talking to about coming onto your firm?
Hmm. Yeah, one of the things that's the most important to me when they're coming on is that they own their business, they own their clients, they own the growth that's involved in the process, and they decide how they want to specialize. So, I don't want to be the person saying you have to specialize this way, you have to talk to your clients in exactly this way, of course, beyond what's compliant, of course. But I think the power in being able to choose how you're going to talk to clients, and what you're going to focus on, is you can bring your own personality and your own experiences to the table, right? So that's really valuable. I've started two businesses that are currently successful. And so I love working with female business owners. I love working with business owners in general. And how do you talk about your business money and your personal money? And so I'm bringing my personal experience of growing businesses into those conversations. But one of the women on my team has a lot of health coach experience, and so she wants to talk to people that are in specific, situations where they have to address their health, and that's really important. And they've been sick, and they're looking at all these other factors. So bringing in your personality is so important, to meeting with the clients. I think makes you really successful.
That's amazing. And you're right. I mean, we hear all the time about authenticity, right? And being your authentic self with clients. And I feel like sometimes, to a certain extent, maybe even more so with women, we're almost taught to suppress what
Mm-hmm.
makes us authentic and what makes us who we are. So I'd love to hear more about the ways your firm supports women and works with these female financial advisors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we, although everyone owns their own business, we work as a team.
Mhm.
So there are people who have different experiences, different trainings, different certifications. And the benefit of being at Paradigm is that all that is available to whoever joins. So someone who I bring in knowledge of working with business owners and how to help them with their business finances. That's available to anyone who's a part of the firm, and I'm happy to partner with them in helping their client. Another of my friends is specialized in estate planning, which is something I haven't done a lot of. So if something like that comes up with my client, I have someone to call right away who can help. So there's that mentoring and team partnership that's going on. No requirements of bringing over a certain amount of AUM to begin, because you can really start where you are and grow your own network and have this organic growth that's happening. And I think one of the reasons that organic growth can happen is when you do specialize and you become known for something, and you really have that purpose of your company, those values, that why around why you're doing the work that you want to do. And then that becomes really easily translatable. I think what a lot of advisors fall into, is, I really want to work with someone that has $500,000 to $1 million. Like that's it. That's the qualification to work with them. It's not male, female, business owner, W-2, like none of those things matter, because they're looking for how much cash I can transfer over, and not the impact that they're, or the connection that they want to have with their clients. But if you can be known for, hey, I really want to impact this type of person who's going through this experience, or that's a connection that other people can really make for you. And then that's easily referable. And now you're known for something. Now you're an expert in your field. Now you're more easily relatable. And so I found that's really helpful to increase, people wanting to talk about you. And so when we bring on new advisors into the firm, that's something we focus on right away is, what do you want to specialize in? What do you want to be known for? What's your purpose, your value system? And then once that starts to happen, it just seems like, that's what's sent your way. I can refer people that I meet that aren't my ideal client to someone else in my firm. And I'm happy to do that, because that's not my specialty. And I know they're going to serve them, 10x what I can. And I'm happy to pass that along. So that teamwork and mentorship is really important to me.
That's amazing to hear. That's amazing. Because I think a lot of times traditionally in the industry, you kind of see advisors kind of go off in silos, and there's not a lot of collaboration with other advisors or working together, or this idea of, I specialize in this, I'm not great at this, so I'm gonna support this advisor and send my client to them for this component. So I think that's amazing. Have you noticed any trends in the last 12 months, whether related to COVID or not, with some of the female advisors you've been speaking to?
Interesting. I guess a couple months in, when I was talking to some advisors, they were in a phase of like, how did my company handle this? Are they supporting me in the transition? Are they able to rethink about business differently and do it virtually? Because there are so many firms that are still paper and black and white, and you sit at this desk for this number of hours. And so that transition to virtual, was a big deal. I think maybe I'm hoping a lot of firms have done it really positively. And I think they've been supported well there, but transferring your knowledge of, I meet clients when I'm handshaking, glad handing and playing golf and whatever. And now I have to think through how to bring in clients virtually. It's definitely been a stretch. And of course, there's some firms that support that more. It's really hard in the broker dealer world, for example, like to post on Facebook and post on Instagram. And that's really not something that they have a lot of access to. But I think there was some assessment of like, wow, maybe my business could be virtual, which is an exciting. I mean, I have clients all over the country, and I've been virtual for 2 years, and it's been great. But how do I connect with people virtually? And does my company support that? Do I have, any leadership or ideas from like digital marketing and being present for the people I really want to talk to?
Got it. That's awesome. So, you obviously are doing a lot of amazing things through your firm, working with women, mentoring, creating an environment of collaboration and working together. And it sounds ultimately like it's doing a much better job of serving the end client. So, what are you hoping the industry will do as a result? Are you kind of hoping you guys can be the example to the rest of the industry and say, "Hey, this works. Let's copy us. Let's do this. Let's change the way we work with each other and with our clients." What are you hoping to see in our industry as we move forward?
Yeah. Oh man. I would love to see I can't really speak to the broker dealer space, but at least in the RIA space, that people are acknowledging, number one, that collaboration is more important than competition. So if your company is constantly focused on who has the best numbers, I'm only going to award the people that bring in the most clients, and it's competition, 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 you are going to leave out women and minorities and LGBTQ, right? Like you're going to be you're going to be showing them that only numbers matter, the mindset doesn't matter, who you are doesn't matter, thinking outside the box doesn't matter. That just is the message that's going to be received. So if you're not willing to look at going towards collaboration and working as a team, I'm not sure that you can implement like bringing in different kinds of advisors to work with different kinds of clients. And then, yeah, I am ready for our industry to look at revenue differently, right? So if your revenue as a firm is only AUM, you're doing yourself a disservice, you're doing your clients a disservice. When the market goes down and you're making less money than you were last month, you can't pay your people as much, even though that's when your clients need you more. I mean, we have to rethink how we're doing revenue for our companies so that we can provide better service, all the time. And be able to work with not only $1 million people, but bring in value for everyone else as well. We're just missing a huge opportunity. And I really hope my firm and others like mine can be successful, so we can say like, look, if numbers are all you care about, fine, here's my number and it works. But I'm telling you, that's not why it works. It doesn't work because the numbers all line up. It works because we're doing all these other things as well.
Well, too, I mean, when you move away from that kind of model, I mean, you're giving pockets of people, portions of our population that haven't traditionally have had that access, which only makes us better as a community, as a country. I mean,
Right.
we can help, bring the gap between the super wealthy and everyone else and shrink that gap. Because I mean,
Yeah.
the one thing we've definitely learned, especially in the last 12 months with the pandemic, is that gap's only gotten bigger. And yet we still see advisors who are seeking to work with these high net worth, wealthy, potential clients, that group of people, and not these people that really need our help and are probably going to end up being better clients in the long run anyway.
Right.
So what can you speak to that in terms of your experience with that?
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, excuse me. Well, yeah, that's a good one. Being uh, the high net worth clients, the people who have been in the industry, hopping from firm to firm, getting wined and dined by all these firms, they know the game. They're not ignorant to the game of, you bring the most revenue to my firm, therefore you get whatever you want. You can have anything that you desire, right? They know the game. So, are those truly the people that you want to be relying most of your revenue on, right? Like how many of your large fish, your big fish, are really helping you make your bottom line, right? Are you able to employ your assistant because you have one $20 million client and now you can afford all these other things, right? So, I don't think it's a long-term smart solution to be investing only in those big fish, right? They're nice, they're whatever, but a lot of those people really understand that money talks, and they have the money, and they're going to be able to get whatever services from whatever company that they want. And if that's what you're relying your business on, is that really a strategic, smart business decision long term? I mean, I would have to say no. So
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. So it's really kind of rethinking this traditional model and setting yourself up for success. Because, when we look at statistically, when you're targeting that specific group of people, you're disengaging from women and minorities, statistically speaking. So yeah, let's get together, people.
that's right. Yep.
So I know there are a lot of people watching and they are just super eager because they want to talk to you. They want to learn more about your firm, how they can connect, perhaps how they can come and work with you and be part of that collaborative team environment. So how can people watching here today get in touch with you?
Yeah, I post content and information about my firm on LinkedIn, so I'd love to connect with you there. There are not a lot of Abby Vicks, so feel free to find me there. Paradigm Money Management is posting, and we're trying to increase some leads for all the advisors and get that going. So LinkedIn is the place. I post to my clients on Instagram, so if you want to see what I'm doing there and how I'm trying to be more creative, great. But my content for advisors is on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Abby, when you are such a mover and shaker in the industry, when you look 5, 10, 20 years down the road, what are you hoping to see?
Man. Um, I'm hoping to see more. I mean, of course, I'm going to say this, more women in leadership, more minorities in leadership, more LGBTQ in leadership. I want to see the RIA industry really use the independent label to their advantage to be creative and really meet people where they are. I want to see people who are being more accessible to other kinds of clients. And if that's creating new platforms or if that's speaking more on stages, I'm open to all the ideas, but how can we engage more people towards really understanding their money, organizing their money, leveraging their money in a really positive way, and the whole time you can feel really good about your money. I mean, that's why I'm in the industry. I want to feel good about my money, and I want my clients to feel great about where their money's at.
Oh my gosh, Abby, you are an inspiration. And it's no wonder why you've been voted one of our phenomenal women of 2021. So, listen, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us the benefit of your insight and sharing your story. What you're doing is amazing. So, we want to keep supporting you. So, everyone, head over to Abby Vick's LinkedIn. Be sure to connect with her, reach out to her if her business sounds of interest to you. Reach out and learn more about her collaborative team environment. Congratulations, Abby. Thank you again. It's been wonderful.
Thank you so much. This was a blast.